Hello? Has anyone seen my underpants? Hello? Has anyone seen my undies? Don't worry about them, Donald. They're safe.
Man, how did we win the election again? I thought for sure he'd lose it all for us.
It's like I said before. Conservatives show up to vote when they disapprove. Liberals only show up when they approve.
But what about Democrats fall in love, Republicans fall in line?
That's a misconception. It's all about attendance. Of course, voters of one persuasion showing up to vote is no guarantee that they'll vote one way or the other, but that's a general rule. We can agree that conservative voters vote for Republicans and liberal voters vote for Democrats.
Well, that seems obvious, but do we just ignore the voters' perception of a candidate?
No. Take the midterms as an example. We know that almost nobody pays attention to a candidate during the midterms. These elections are referendums on the current president. So if Republicans disapprove, they'll show up to vote. If Democrats disapprove, they'll stay home. It's why we keep winning.
What? Why would that be the case? And what if voters approve?
That's the tricky bit. It's genetics. Here, these Punnett squares best illustrate when voters show up at the polls. Liberals show when they approve. Conservatives show when they disapprove. You see the dominant genes assert themselves differently between voter groups. Obviously, it's best illustrated during presidential elections, but it can be applied to the midterms. In a general rule, liberal voters show up 38% of the time, but conservative voters vote 75% of the time.
Well, that seems like poorly crafted pseudoscience.
Then why do we keep winning? We ruin everything, and yet we control the three main branches of the federal government, a majority of state houses, and governorships.
Well, I don't know why we keep winning, but just because a reasonable explanation doesn't show itself doesn't mean one doesn't exist.
Ugh, that's confusing. I prefer alternative science. Does anyone seen my underpants? Is still missing. Where's they gone? Check under your trouser, Donald. Oh, yeah, okay. He's like a child. No object permanence. Of course not. Hey, do you think that's like a metaphor?
What? No, I mean, not unless you ignore basic logic.
Pants! Hey, you don't think he's actually asking for— God, holy mother! He's trying to wear me!